We are about to embark upon a series of strange and exciting, dangerous adventures. Adventures that will lead us to all parts of the world.
Hello and welcome to another Bad Comic Review. This time we're looking at Batman issue 132. This is from the Rebirth line from DC Comics. This is part 2 of the Batman of Gotham. Written by Chip Zdarsky, pencils by Mike Hawthorne, Adriano Di Benedetto inks. Colors were by Tomeu Morey, letters by Clayton Cowles. Jorge Jimenez did the cover. Dave Walgo's associate editor, Ben Abernathy editor. Cover's really boring. It does kind of relate to what's going on, but there's no action. It's just Selena Kyle, and oh boy, look, you have to point out that it's Batman and Catwoman in the reflection because we didn't know that, because yeah, so assuming we're all dumb, I guess, but it's well done. It's just pointless pinup. So Red Mask is looking for Bruce Wayne and meeting with Harvey Dent, telling him to go out and get him. It turns out that the stupid skeleton with a mustache version of Jim Gordon may be induced by something called Crane Brain. What they're doing is Arkham apparently runs Gotham City, and they're pumping a mild form of fear gas out into the city, and the only way to avoid it is to take these pills. Yes, street drugs, that'll help. And it turns out that somebody named Halliday is running what used to be Wayne Tower in the other universe, and Batman decides to infiltrate, where he runs into Selena, who recognizes him. Apparently in this universe, Bruce Wayne gave up all his money to be a social worker, and he's supposedly dead now. And because he didn't bother to wear a mask last issue, different version of Punchline and Killer Croc show up and assist Catwoman in attempting to apprehend Batman. Alfred Pennyworth is there though, and he seems to recognize Batman. But everybody's juiced up on Venom, including the street cops, so everybody beats the crap out of Batman, more or less. And it turns out Halliday may have ties to a villain in Batman's universe. It was okay, not great, but it lacks depth. It's just a very straightforward story, with Bruce Wayne not even bothering to try and hide who he is. And he constantly talks about getting old. He's like 35, but he's been doing that throughout all of the Failsafe story and this one. Maybe they're gonna retire Bruce Wayne, I don't know. There's a lot of like jibber jabber in here that's unnecessary. He talks about missing his boys, which are the Robins, and he talks about getting old. It's a bunch of pointless narration that doesn't actually further anything, especially when he's like 35. If he was like 60 or 50, okay, I could understand that, but 35, he's not even halfway through his life by the average American age, so whatever. But it was an okay story, just not my favorite. Then we have the backup story, part 2 of The Toy Box, written by Chip Zdarsky, art by Miguel Mendonca, colors by Roman Stevens, Clayton Cowles letters, Dave Walgo's editor. We learned that John Kent fought a giant dinosaur robot thing that Toyman built, and Toyman was running around with this weird pistol thing that was apparently made with multiversal energy, and he was using it to turn people into toys, but it was also displacing people to an alternate universe. And that is the crux of what Tim Drake and Mr. Terrific figure out, so that they can try and track Batman down. And they've built this little costume thing that'll let Tim beam into multiverses and track people down, and he manages to start doing that after we get a pointless page of him making out with his boyfriend and talking about video games as if it's 1990. I thought this could have been summed up in 3 pages, but the pointless talking and recap of the Toyman thing that didn't need to happen, that could have been summed up in a dialogue box, were just padding. There's a lot of padding in this book, but again, it's better than the Failsafe storyline. Is it worth $5? Absolutely not. This is a $2 book on its best day. Backup story is almost entirely fluff, could have been summed up in a significantly shorter span of time, and the main story suffers from some of the same padding, and there's some weird elements here that really don't seem like Chip Zdarsky either has a very good grasp on Batman, or he just wants to retire Bruce Wayne. I don't know. The book just doesn't really work for me, so I'll recommend it if you can find it very cheap. Beyond that, it's not really holding my interest. The art's not bad on both stories. They kind of clash on styles. The first story is significantly darker in tone and physical appearance, and the second one is a lot brighter with brighter colors, and it really contrasts pretty sharply, not just with the art styles but in tone. So I really hate the backup story things, but at least this one does tie into the main narrative. So grab it cheap if you want to read this storyline, but it's not that memorable. That's gonna do it for this one. Thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future reviews. If you'd like to help the channel out in other ways, links are in the description to various support methods, and as always, we hope to see you on the next one.